Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of February 11th, 2019. Chief O'Connor, can you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Present.
Consul Magna.
Here.
Dixon. Gibbons.
Here.
Hannon.
Present.
Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Myrie.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
We have 8 members present. At this time, can we stand to the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get into the agenda for the residents who are attending the meeting tonight, under item C, item G, appointing of a zoning hearing board alternate, that item has been removed from the agenda. Okay, I would like to turn to chair announcements. Executive session of council was conducted on January 28th, 2019 to discuss personnel items and legal issues. And tonight, before we came out, February 11th, 2019, personnel items and legal issues. At this time, I would like to turn to the reports of the officials and the library director's report.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Christine. I am the director of Your Public Library, where we provide opportunities to explore, learn, create, and connect. I have a few classes and services to talk about this evening. The first is an app playground for parents, which will be held on Thursday, February 21st at 7 p.m. All parents worry about screen time and their children. If you're looking for some guidelines on quality apps for your kids, this class is for you. Come and try out a few of our favorite age and educationally appropriate apps before you download. Your children are welcome. We want them to play too. We do ask that you register so we have enough devices. Tuesdays in February, we have adapted story time. It is on 9:30 in the morning. So this class engages participants through story, music, and movement and offers educational and social opportunities for children with differing abilities, their siblings, parents, caregivers, and they're typically developing peers. So story time will take place in a safe, non-judgmental environment with interactive book-based experiences. There is limited registration, so there's not an overwhelming number of children or a lot of noise. This story time is for ages 2 to 6 with a caregiver. Beginning Tuesday, February 19th, and continuing through April 9th, the library will be hosting AARP Tax Aid, which is free tax assistance for taxpayers with low or middle income, with special attention to those who are age 60 and older. AARP Tax Aid volunteers will be available every Tuesday at the library from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Registration is first come, first served. We do not take appointments. We do ask that you bring last year's tax return and any pertinent documents for this year's tax return. And I want to make sure everybody knows that the municipal building doors do not open till 8 a.m. So if you come, you're going to be stuck outside. While we're talking about taxes, tax forms, the PA Department of Revenue has discontinued the practice of sending bulk forms to the libraries and to the post office, for that matter, in an effort to meet their strategic goal of providing more electronic filing options for taxpayer. So the library does not have any state tax forms. The library does, however, have the new federal Form 1040. There's no longer a 1040EZ or a 1040A. All taxpayers will use the redesigned Form 1040, and many people will only need to file the 1040 and no schedules. It's like a half a page. But if you have any deductions or credits, you'll have to complete some of the Form 1040 schedules. The library does not have copies of any of these schedules. The IRS is not printing them in bulk. So forms for PA tax or IRS schedules can be downloaded from the respective websites. You can also call the respective departments and request that forms be emailed, faxed, or mailed to you. And just one announcement, the library will be closed on Monday, February 18th for Staff Development Day. Just a reminder that late fees are not charged on days that the library is closed. And that is all.
Any questions? You're safe for one extra day, O'Brien.
I'm safe.
Thank you very much. Can we turn to the police chief report and Chief O'Connor?
They confiscated. Yeah, they took it.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Hi, everybody. Chief here. with my report. Want to thank Dr. D from Tri-Community, who appeared at our last Crime Watch meeting. Very well attended and very informative, so I want to thank him and Tri-Community. Next Crime Watch will be Monday, the 4th of March at 7 p.m. at the Community Center. We'll work on getting another speaker. I do have one personal appeal to everybody out there. Please, in the overnight hours, do not leave your cars unlocked. Do not leave your cars unlocked with valuables in your cars. Do not leave your cars unlocked with valuables and firearms in your cars. We have someone out there that's prowling around, and we have several items missing from several cars over the past week. So if we take items out of the cars and lock our cars up, there would be no thievery out there. So I'm going to thank everybody in advance for their cooperation. Any questions?
Any questions? Hearing none, thank you very much, Chief. Can we turn to the Fire Chief's report?
All right, I'm here on behalf of Dave Gerber, our Fire Chief. I'm Assistant Fire Chief for Russ Beeson. Give you the total run calls for the month of January. The Volunteer Fire Company was very busy in January with a total of 52 calls, 3 structure fires, 1 chimney fire, 1 vehicle fire, 1 outside fire, 5 gas leaks, 2 electrical conditions, 2 carbon monoxide incidents, 1 vehicle accident cleanup, 13 good intent calls, 20 fire alarms, and 3 CO alarms. And we would like to also put our message out to the community as well. Home fires are more often to occur in the winter than any other season. So as you stay cozy and warm this winter season, be fire smart. Half of all home heating fires occur in the months of December, January, and February. With that said, keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away from the heat source, like your fireplaces, your wood stoves, or those space heaters. Plug only 1 space heater in per outlet in your home. And if you're burning your fireplace, when you remove your ashes, store your ashes in a tight covered metal container and keep it at least 10 feet away from your home or any other nearby buildings. With that, that's the Fire Chief's report. Any questions or comments?
Any questions? Hearing none, thank you very much. Can we turn, I apologize for not adding this to the beginning. We have the EMS Director's report. You are now on.
Now on, thank you. I'm sure I'm now on. Good evening, I'm the EMS Director for Tri-Community South. I've been asked to come to bring up our subscription drive, second mailing. Hi, he came to visit me. Will be mailed this week, and we're hoping people will support their EMS service. We don't receive any tax dollars from any of the 3 communities that own and operate us, and we're nonprofit. Currently, we only have 5,422 residents out of 28,000 households that support Tri-Community at this time. So that's where we generate the revenue to operate, so your tax dollars are not used for us. So we hope you support us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll turn to the Mayor's report. Mayor Allen.
Thank you, and I will say firsthand, I know it's better to subscribe to the EMS than try to use them if you don't have a subscription, because it costs a lot more.
It does.
So-
We run over 7,200 calls a year and about 600 a month.
Okay. All right. I actually just have a few housekeeping items this evening. The first one I want to talk about is our pole painting. We have, and you've probably noticed, new signs going up on all the streets in Bethel Park. So we're in the midst now of putting a program together with the Public Works Director to paint the poles. The poles will be painted black. So if you have a organization, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Indian Princess that can help that, if you contact the municipal building, 412-831-6800, and extension 211 is Janet, and she'll be able to take your information, and then we'll see what we have available. I want to thank Dr. Campbell, because he did a town hall meeting this past week, which was very, very, he did a great job. And there was a lot of information that we learned from there. And one thing I wanted to bring up is that we do have a website, www.bethelpark.net, and anything that you want to know about Bethel Park is on that website. You can sign up for Savvy Citizen. You can find out the construction projects that are going on 88 especially. You'll know exactly what's going on down there. Questions about garbage pickup and recycling, and you can get a hold of anyone or phone numbers for any of the municipal offices. Which brought me to one idea, or one thing I wanted to mention was the Swift Reach program that we have. We don't use it that often, but it's very important when we do. We did it in the case of the flooding last year. We did it about 3 weeks ago when we were supposed to get a big snowstorm. But if we don't have your number in the system, we can't call you. You can go to our website and you can put the information in. If you have an unlisted number or you have a cell phone, you can be contacted that way. And I do know that my daughter has a cell phone. She was in Disney World when she got contacted about the snowstorm in Pittsburgh, so didn't affect her, but. Also on the bottom of the one page, you'll find the blueprint icon. The municipality is seeking public input for the long-range comprehensive plan update, otherwise known as the Blueprint Bethel Park. If you have any thoughts or ideas concerning walkability, housing, attracting new businesses, infrastructure like roads and sewers and parks, please attend the second public meeting, and that'll be held Thursday, March 14th at 7 o'clock at the community center. In the meantime, if you click on that site, there'll be a survey there. You can open that and give your input on what you think Bethel Park should look like in the next 10 years. So that's our website, bethelpark.net. And finally, if anybody wants to watch council meetings or anything from BPTV, you can go on YouTube and you can see council meetings from over 10 years ago.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Well, you'll see some people, you say, I remember that person. So, but I just want to thank everyone. It's just a little housekeeping, and that's my report.
Mayor, maybe I can just comment because I've had some interactions with people. A lot of people had their landline phone numbers in this system, and they went to cell phones and they did away with their landlines. So I think those folks ought to just maybe remember that if they did away with their landline, they won't get the call unless they give us the correct number to contact them. That's the
And
point you
absolutely,
made.
a lot of people
But I
are
think
doing
that's
that.
why that happened, because a lot of people said, well, I didn't get a call.
Right.
And I'd say, well, do you still have your landline? No, well, that's probably the number that we have
Right.
for them in there.
So if you go onto the Bethel Park website and just type in Swift Reach, it'll take you to the police station or police page, and then you can put your number in there or how you want to be contacted. So I don't even know the percentage of calls that we have versus residents, but I still think there's a long way to go to help everybody.
Maybe the Almanac can put a little, we put it in the Chronicles, but maybe the Almanac could put a little article reminding people that they have to have their correct number in the Swift Reach to get the calls for the emergencies or whatever.
Okay, good idea.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And I would just like to comment on the Blueprint Bethel Park. It's our long-range plan. The new survey, I think, came out last week. I think the last survey we did, we had about 500 people participate. I would encourage everybody to go to the website and participate and/or attend a public meeting. You know, it's the community project. We want to see what the community would like to see as a vision for the next 10 years in Bethel Park. Okay, at this time, I would like to turn to the approvals and the bills and payrolls, and Mr. Hannan.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls for municipality per bill list number 021119 in the amount of $2,314,881.22.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Hannan and a second by Ms. Gibbons that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 021119 in the amount of $2,314,881.22. Any discussion of this item? Chief, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the resident comment section. For non-agenda items, Mr. Failer, if you'd come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
Richard Pauler, 1119 Logan Road. I have a few pieces of paper that I got through the borough about my property. I'm just going to go over a couple brief things. One was, a bill from 1996 that the borough paid about $15,000 to install some things in my property. A catch basin and some piping, which at that time I had a conversation with the engineer and explained the amount of water flow through my property and how that really isn't, it might make a dent in it, but that's about it. On the same document, there's a note here, and I've run across this a few times. It's from Bill Spagnol, the old borough manager, and I'll leave the person's name out of it. After you read and review this, please call me. Bob Scrimmins and I don't believe Mr. Pauler has a legitimate concern request against the municipality. So what they're saying is I don't have a lawsuit against you guys. But yet on another document from a meeting I had in 1998 with Bill Spagnol, Bob Scrimmins, Thor DeCesar, and again, they've left the person's name off of this. It goes through all the issues that I had, some damage that was done when the borough came into my property. And the thing I want to point out is it says, Mr. Spagnol further stated the municipality would consider a final money settlement with Mr. Pauler, who could then make whatever private improvements he wanted. However, Mr. Pauler would have to agree in writing that such sum of money would be a final settlement. In other words, I'd be stuck with the house and I would be stuck with the problem. They have a note on here with respect to the above items. Now, this is your documents. With respect to the above items, Mr. Pauler indicated that he would consider the municipality offer. That's a flat-out lie. I escorted him off my property. Okay. I think I know why. One of the reasons is that this one person's name was left off at this meeting, left off the other documents. It's the same reason that Thor DeCesar's name, who was the engineer at the borough at the time, he resigned shortly after that. And when I ran into him, he explained to me he had a law degree too, and he wasn't going to lose his law degree over Bethel Park. So that kind of tells you why there's a name left off of here who was at that meeting and why this guy resigned. They offered me a whopping $5,000 to, in Mr. Spagnol's words, to make me go away. Okay, it's unethical. And then there's a written note on the bottom. Pauler never proposed a monetary settlement amount. They never asked me for one. So I'll come today and ask you for one. Give me $150,000 and I'll go away. And I'll turn over my house to you guys. Same thing with the property. Property, there's a note here from Naira Engineering in 1999 that gave you guys suggestions on how to try to fix the problem. Nothing was ever done. So you paid an engineer, did nothing about it. Further in the documents, you can find it here. Conclusions and recommendations. The topographical features which direct and concentrate surface water runoff into and through the property cannot be altered in any significant way that would materially change the volume of both the surface and groundwater, which is concentrated and conveyed through the property. So what they're saying, you're saying, nothing can fix this problem. But an unwritten rule, you won't buy properties, but that's not true. You do buy properties. You just won't buy my property because you have bought other properties. When you own documentation says that it can't be fixed, then I think the taxpayers need to know why, here's 15,000. I'm sure if I dig deeper, you're probably up to about $100,000. If back in 1996, when I brought this to your attention, you could have bought the house for that. You could have stopped, or at least slowed down the additional flooding that has happened since in the last 30 years. There's a lot of things that could have been done. But again, you guys keep spending money, taxpayer money, and it's not fixing anything. You could have easily spent the same amount of money, bought the property, built a detention pond, and saved all those homeowners downstream from me.
I'd ask you to conclude your comments, please.
Okay. One last thing. Statement of the problem, okay, is from your property located, okay, my property, does not receive flooding directly from Logan Creek. The property is located 350 feet north of the stream channel, and the house on the property at the site ground elevation is 1,072 feet. The stream channel is an elevation of 1,060 feet. So I'm 12 feet over the creek, okay, and the property digs down too, so it's even worse. While the property does not directly flood from stream overflow to the property, is adversely impacted during the stream flooding due to the reduced capacity of the drainage system. Okay, so again, it's backing up. The property is situated within a natural drain swale, which is subcatchment of Logan Creek. The upstream land area which drains through the property consists of approximately 22 acres and includes Gatewood Drive, part of Greenbrier Road, and the part of Scenic View Drive and Sarah Street. This is where they built all the homes that created this flooding.
Thank you very much. Any other residents who would like to speak? Hearing none, can we turn to General Policy and Finance? And Mr. McClaney, we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. First item is resignation of Sean Arbaugh. I move that we accept Sean Arbaugh's resignation from Bethel Park Municipal Manager dated January 14th, 2019.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we accept Sean Arbaugh's resignation from Bethel Park Municipal Manager dated January 14th, 2019. I guess I'll just quickly comment on this. I'd like to wish Sean well. He's returning to Sandy Township, a town in which he was born and raised, so we appreciate his efforts and everything he's done. It was a turbulent year, a lot of flooding, a lot going on last year, but we certainly do appreciate all his efforts. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Chief, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is appointment of an interim municipal manager. I move that we appoint Chief Timothy O'Connor as interim municipal manager effective February 11th, 2019.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We appoint Chief Timothy O'Connor as interim municipal manager effective February 11th, 2019. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Harrison.
I've had many positive comments about Chief O'Connor and the police department under his tenure, and so I appreciate all his efforts. But because of the opioid problem, because of the threats in the school system, and all the other police-type activities that he has to direct, I just think we're overloading him. And therefore, I'm going to vote no on this motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
No.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-1 that we appoint Chief O'Connor interim manager. Mr. McLean.
Next item is employment of police officer. I move that we hire Ryan Elliott as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated February 7th, 2019.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We hire Ryan Elliott as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated February 7th, 2019. I'll briefly comment, Mr. Denson, Chair of the Civil Service Commission. We did the test last August, and we've gone through a couple runs of hiring, but we appreciate all the hard work of the Civil Service Commission and the chief and staff doing background checks. We have spent the last year or so looking for 4 new officers. We hired 2 the end of 2018. We have 2 new ones. Hopefully, they're going to start tomorrow in 2019, but we appreciate the efforts and everything the department and the Civil Service Commission's done. Any other comments? Hearing none, Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. My apologies, Mr. McLean.
Next item is employment of police officer. I move that we hire Cody Allward as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated February 7th, 2019.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We hire Cody Allward as police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated February 7th, 2019. Any discussion of this item? Chief, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean, you're on overtime tonight.
Thank you. Next item is appointment to the Zoning Hearing Board. I move that we appoint Joseph M. Janasic to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term to expire on December 31, 2023.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we appoint Joseph M. Janasek to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term to expire December 31st, 2023. Would like to thank Joe for, he's been on there as a alternate member. He's here this evening. He's telling me he's getting even because I go to his meetings. But no, he served as an alternate member for the last few years, and it's really a learning curve to find out how the process works, and you've had an opportunity to participate, so we appreciate your service and your willingness to become a full-time member.
Thank you very much. It's been a great honor.
Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is appointment to the Zoning Hearing Board alternate. I move that we appoint John Cannon to the Zoning Hearing Board alternate for a term to expire on December 31st, 2021.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we appoint John Cannon to the Zoning Hearing Board alternate for a term to expire December 31st, 2021. Any discussion of this item? Chief, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item, item G, was removed from the agenda. Final item is ordinance number 02-11-19, bidding ordinance. I move that we approve an ordinance of the municipality of Bethel Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 4, bidding requirements of the Code of the municipality of Bethel Park to allow for electronic submission of bids on public contracts and purchases.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we approve an ordinance, the municipality of Bethel Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 4, bidding requirements of the Code of the municipality of Bethel Park to allow for electronic submission of bids on public contracts and purchases. Essentially, this is going to allow us to perform a reverse bidding process. There's organizations out there that support this. It's kind of the new technology, and it's a way to get more people to participate and hopefully get better pricing. Any discussion? Hearing none, Chief, could you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
No further agenda items under general policy and finance.
Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning and Mr. Hannon? We have no residents signed up to speak.
We have one item on tonight's agenda. It's resolution number R2-11-19, CITF Resolution Neighborhood Park Improvements. I move that we adopt the resolution authorizing the manager of the municipality of Bethel Park to file a grant application for Community Infrastructure and Tourism Fund grant to fund the Neighborhood Park Improvement Project.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we adopt a resolution authorizing the manager of the municipality of Bethel Park to file a grant application for a community infrastructure and tourism fund grant to fund neighborhood park improvement project. Any discussion of this item? Chief, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magna.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Hannon.
We have no additional agenda items under planning and zoning, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Are there any additional? Hearing none, can we turn to health, safety, and welfare? And Mr. O'Brien, and we have no residents.
Mr.
signed up to
Murray,
speak.
there are no items under health, safety, and welfare.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to public works and maintenance, Ms. Gibbons?
No agenda items under Public Works and Maintenance.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. Any additional items? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
we adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.